All right, I think it's that time in the cycle where we start bringing some incredible project analysis and price prediction videos back. See where these projects going to go on Cardano because somebody's got to review these things and give you the in depth analysis of what is going on. And this week's video, we might try and do these like once every 1 or 2 weeks. We'll just do another project on Cardano. But the video today is going to be Butane. Butane is a synthetics protocol on Cardano, and we're just going to analyze the fundamentals, the tokenomics, the chart, and my viewpoint of what this project is up to and what's going on behind the scenes in case you are new to Cardano or haven't dove in deeply or need a refresher on butane. The big question we want to ask in this video and all of these analysis videos is, can the project 100x? Why do we want to know that? Because we need a massive wealth generating event in order to set ourselves up for next cycle or invest our money or build a business or buy some cool things, right? You can see right here, if you want to get one of these sweet cars, we have a C5 Corvette and we have a brand new Porsche 911. If you want one of these bad boys, like I know I do, I would love both of these cars in my garage next to my truck and next to the wife's SUV, right? If you want both of these bad boys, a little bit of muscle, a little bit of import, you definitely need 100x. A lot of us got lower five-figure portfolios, so like 10, 20, $30,000. Some of us have $5,000 portfolios. It doesn't matter. Anywhere in these price ranges, we need to try our hardest and try our best to get a 100x so we can get cool Corvettes, cool Porsches, pay off the house, pay off the student loan debt, buy a couple coffees, and have a good day. All right. So, this is what we're trying to do in this video. If you are not interested in 100xing your portfolio, then probably just click away. Furthermore, a lot of what we're going to cover today is already in the description. I made this 100x blueprint checklist, 100% free. It's in the description of this video and all my other videos, and it'll walk you through a 7-step process that I'm currently using to attempt to 100x my crypto portfolio. And it goes over a little bit more detail besides what we're going to talk about in this video. And it will also have some questions and a worksheet you can ask yourself. So if you're interested in that, in the description, totally check it out. Now let's get started. Butane is a synthetics protocol on Cardano. Synthetics are basically like if you wanted to bring coffee, the commodity of coffee onto Cardano, you would need a synthetic. If you want to, basically, it's a one-to-one peg of anything out in the real world that you bring onto Cardano. So, say you want to put your house on the Cardano blockchain, you can do that with a synthetic. Say you want to bring the euro onto Cardano, you can do that with a synthetic. Say you want to bring the price of Bitcoin or the price of Solana onto Cardano, you can do that with the synthetic. So synthetics are basically a debt position that allows you to mint one-to-one backed things. So if you put ADA into a CDP, a collateralized debt position, you can get out euro, or you can get out JPY, which is the Japanese yen, or you can get out Bitcoin of an equivalent value. That's what a synthetic is. What are the fundamentals of the butane token, though? Butane has a couple good things, like really awesome things going for it, that's trying to set itself up to be the best synthetic protocol on Cardano. Some of those things that it has are collateralized debt positions, CDPs, backed by many native assets. So currently in the synthetic markets, we don't really have this so much, and there's some risk could be had by having this, but this could also de-risk other certain events. So CDPs backed by many native assets. Imagine opening a collateralized debt position and say you put 100 ADA into this smart contract and you want to get out, whatever other token you want, whether it be X amount of USD, X amount of euro, whatever. Collateralized debt position with many native assets means that instead of just putting 100 ADA in, you could put 50 ADA in, 50 BTN in, and some amount of stablecoin. That way, if ADA price drops or the stablecoin price drops, the other assets in the collateralized debt position can maintain the health factor of the loan and you don't get instantly liquidated. When you have a collateralized debt position backed by just one asset and that asset has a bad day and wicks crazy up or down in price, your health factor can go below 1, which would allow for liquidators to liquidate your loan. If you want to reduce the risk of liquidating your collateralized debt position, then having multiple assets backing it of different types, so maybe ADA, BTN, and a stablecoin, will allow the collateralized debt position health factor to be less volatile, especially during bear markets, during price swings. When things are going up, who in the world cares? Because your health factor just gets better and better. But when things are going down, you want to minimize that volatility. Second, with butane, you have a great feature of adjusting and merging collateralized depositions. So one of the biggest things that when crypto was really getting started, or when Cardano DeFi was really getting started, is that you would open these loans and then not be able to adjust the loan while it's already open. So in order to adjust the loan, you'd have to close the loan, reopen a new one, and you're doing so many transactions and you're wasting so much ADA. What butane is allowing you to do is, say you have a loan open and you have ADA collateralized into a deposition and you're pulling out USD. Say you want to have more USD pulled out or less USD pulled out. Butane gives you the ability to adjust that transaction, adjust that CDP, submit a transaction, and it will just update the current loan instead of you having to open one, close one, and redo the whole process. With butane, you also have the ability to have a foreign exchange market on Cardano because it's a synthetics. We can put things, native assets, Cardano native assets, into debt positions, and we can get out USD, Euro, JPY, all of these things. Let me show you on the website here. This is their current available assets that they're working with on the testnet. We have USDB, USDS, Euro B, JPY B, Bitcoin B, and Solana P. Now, you might be wondering what these little letters are at the back of these assets. I think it explains it right here. B class synthetics are standard synthetics, track the price of their underlying asset 1-to-1. S synthetics track the price 1-to-1, but limit collateralized options to have lower volatility and higher stability. P class synthetics are an inverse synthetic that tracks the inverse price of their underlying asset. So butane allows you to leverage foreign exchange markets on Cardano, basically, because of the synthetic assets that it provides in USD, Euro, JPY. Also, if you're on butane, not just as a debt user, like using the collateralized deposition, you can be on butane watching depositions and liquidating people whose health factor goes below 1. When you liquidate someone else, you have the ability to share profits of that liquidation, profits of the loan with the Butane protocol, and say, I think it's like 20%. You make like 20% because of whatever their health factor was compared to what's in the collateral. You make 20% and you split that basically with the protocol. Say it's like 10 and 10 or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but you can make profit by liquidating other CDPs when their health factor on the global dashboard goes below 1. You can also bundle up to 61 transactions into one transaction on the Butane network. So these are the 5 unique selling points that it's trying to tackle, and no other synthetic protocol and no other lending protocol on Cardano currently has all 5 of these things ticked off the way Butane does. So these are all of the amazing good things that Butane is trying to bring to Cardano. If you're interested in synthetics. With every good thing, there's also a few negative things, and there's also a few things that there's always fundamental reasons why a project might not do so well. We must balance the good with the bad. So currently, the negative fundamental aspects of Butane is that mainnet is just not live. Mainnet is 7 or 8 months delayed. There's only a testnet. There really is no product yet. So that's always going to be a big concern. How do we use a product that sounds so good when it's just not there for people to use? Second, I'm not really sure about the burning of butane. When you repay a transaction with butane, repay like the interest and the fee with BTN, some of that BTN is burnt. I think that this can be good, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I think it's good for price, but I don't know if we should prioritize good for price over good for protocol. I wonder if like 10 years from now, if butane is just this massive protocol, will we need more BTN in circulation? So I'm not 100% sold on the burning of BTN, also because I'm not 100% sold on immediate need for price action, right? But burning of BTN won't happen until the product's live. The product's not live yet. So it's just something to watch out for. I don't think burning BTN is bad. It's definitely inherently good for price. I just don't know how necessary it is. All right, if you download the checklist down below, you know that after fundamentals, what do we look at? We look at tokenomics. Fundamentals are great. We know that now butane is something that's quite interesting. It has a lot of good key features, but it's not live yet. So those features are not accessible. But after fundamentals, we must look at tokenomics because we're not just buying the idea. We're not just buying the product, right? We're buying also into this token that has representation on the Cardano blockchain of an asset. Will people want this asset? Is this asset worth our time to hold? Currently, BTN has a total supply of 25 million BTN, and about 50% of those tokens are in circulation. The tokenomics are split up 43% for the public, which have vested immediately, 26.5% to the protocol, basically like for liquidity, I think, 17% to the team, which is still vesting, 9% to the treasury, 3% to the private sale, which is done, 1.5% for just other, which I'm not sure what that is, but it's just only 1.5%, so it's not a huge deal. Currently, 50% of all BTN is circulating, and BTN total has a $5 million market cap, and it has a $10 million fully diluted market cap. Now, fully diluted basically means instead of the circulating supply of the token times token price, it's all tokens in existence times token price. So what is the current market cap when you have all tokens in circulation? Right now, we only have 50% of tokens in circulation. So that's why it's a $5 million market cap and not a $10 million market cap. With every token, we want to ask, what is token utility? I will have future videos on this. I don't think token utility is the most important thing. I think tokens and token price can still do very good without the most token utility, but more token utility is always better. If you can get more token utility, there's no downsides to that. There's only benefits. And price action probably does correlate to a pretty high level of token utility. But in my opinion, token utility is not the end all be all. It is one factor of many factors that contribute to whether a product can be successful and whether you can 100x on it. Just if you don't believe me, think about every meme coin you've ever seen. Meme coins have no utility and they still do 100x's. Okay. So, token utility for BTN, when you repay a collateralized deposition with BTN, you get a fee discount of 5%. That's a great use case. That's a great use case if you're an avid Butane user. Burning some BTN will happen with every CDP that is repaid with BTN, and then if you have BTN and you stake it, you have a position in governance voting on the protocol. So you can help decide what assets come into play, what the protocol does, how it moves forward, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in BTN, that utility, in my opinion, that utility is enough to have decent utility. It's about mid-tier utility. I'm good enough with mid-tier utility, and I think these tokenomics are actually pretty decent. 43% for the public is good because 26% is for the protocol. I like that, a very small percent is for the team, only about 20% or less, but a lot's for the public. And what you really want is you want a lot of tokens out in the circulating supply. You want a lot of tokens in the hand of the public, and you want public to be able to control and distribute the market price. The last thing you want is to have a market price that's controlled by developers or by large whales holding the token. When you have more tokens in public and more tokens circulating, the public and the markets control the price, and that's what you want. And I think that's what's currently happening with BTN. There's not a whole lot of sell pressure. There's not a whole lot of immediate price action, and the public does have a lot of tokens. So that's always a good thing. So far what we've learned is that Butane has a unique product. It has a product that is not currently existing on Cardano in the capacity that Butane can exist. Butane is also a very good iteration of what Cardano DeFi can be. And I think if it were to go live, it would successfully be something that is not currently seen, and it would be successfully something that people would want to use. So that's a very good thing. Second, we know the tokenomics are somewhat in the retail's hands. A lot of the supply, 50% of the supply is circulating. A lot of the supply is out in the public and in the protocol liquidity. So it's not immediately going to be dumped, or it's not immediately going to be changed. It's not immediately going to have anything happen to it. And then the team's tokens are still vesting throughout 2025, which is always good, incentivizes the team to keep working, incentivizes development, incentivizes all these great things. So we know fundamentals are good. The use case is good. We know the tokenomics are there. Tokenomics are in a bullish setting and are really in retail's favor to control the price. When we scroll down here, we see the third thing we're going to look at is the chart and other stuff. Okay, as you can see here, this is the BTN chart currently. This is the 3-day chart. And what we see from this chart is that nothing's going on. There's not a major price increase. There's also not a major price decrease. Between some of these highs and lows, there is some big action. But this chart to me is saying nothing's going on because people are kind of trying to figure out what in the world's going on with BTN, I think this chart is flat in an accumulation mode because people do not know if the project's going to go live, if the project's going to be successful, if they should keep buying tokens, if they should sell tokens. This is a chart right here that to me says people are just kind of hanging out, waiting out, and trying to see what's going on. If we zoom in here to the daily chart, Same thing. You can probably buy and sell some of these swings, but as a long-term investor myself, this chart is just waiting for something to happen. It's waiting for more information. The people in Cardano are not 100% sure what's going on. They're not really sure what to do here. They're just kind of, some are accumulating, some are selling, some are playing in between. The one thing I would note is this 100-week moving average or 100-day moving average just appeared, and BTN's currently below it. I think if you wanted some bullish action, you want BTN to get above the 100-day moving average. Okay, so not really much to look at on the chart. All indicators are sideways, price is sideways, and for the most part, you'd expect these things to just keep going sideways because so far it hasn't proven anything else. But the chart, what we're learning is the chart is representative of what's going on with the project. The project is moving sideways. Where's the development? Where's the mainnet? What is going on here? I think that is going to be a big catalyst for what people are doing with their money, and people right now are not currently sure. The biggest thing about that chart is that Butane is at a $5 million market cap, which is really, really low. Okay, so chart, we can't really tell a whole lot of information from, but as a cumulative part of the rest of this process of fundamentals of tokenomics, the chart is one of many aspects that helps us decide what we should do today to 100x and if BTN can be that 100x. Some other stuff that I think is really good to look at is the team. The team has two really good core developers. They're really well known in Cardano. And from what I've seen, they're respected individuals. Their faces are doxed. You can figure out who they are. But they don't seem to have any ulterior motives. Right, they seem to be genuine people. They seem to have a good interest on Cardano Twitter, good interest in interviews, and I think there's good things to say about the whole team. Also, Butane is audited and open sourced, and I really like how the developers and the team takes open sourcing seriously. In some of their interviews, they talk about how there's a ton of things to do on Cardano. There's a ton of people to help. There's a ton of reasons to be open sourced. And even if you're open sourced, you can still have licensing agreements. You can still have reasons where people can't just copy paste your code. They are open to options. They're open minded. They're having a very good conversation. And I like the way that they're handling this audited and open source situation, even though the product's still not out yet. I think the developers are good. I think the developers might just have a little bit too much on their plate, and they might be trying to do a little bit too much, helping some other projects, solving some issues here and there with all of Cardano, developing Butane, the average developer experience. They got a lot going on, and I think that's one of the biggest things right now. So we talked about fundamentals, we talked about tokenomics, talked about the chart and the team and all this good stuff, but what is my opinion? What is my opinion? Can BTN 100x, is it the token for you? Is it the token to save your portfolio and your life and give you the amazing dreams that you want? Let's look. Okay, so I think two things stop the 100x. Do I think BTN has a use case that can 100x? Yes. Do I think it has tokenomics that can 100x? Yes. Do I think the team is good? Probably, yeah. But I think two things will stop the 100x. One, no DApp is live. There is no mainnet. There is no product to use, right? There's just a token, no product. So there's no product out there. And because there's no product out there, the second problem is that there's no moat around synthetics on Cardano. What I mean by this is Butane has not developed a significant market share of Cardano synthetics or of Cardano lending protocols or of Cardano DeFi. And because of that, I think right now BTN cannot 100x. I think it can't. And I wouldn't put my bet on it. So let's further map this out. Theoretically, can BTN 100x? Yes, because it is a $5 million project, and there's not going to be a whole lot of circulating supply coming out. But if it were to 100x, that's only a $500 million project. Imagine some of the lending protocols we saw last cycle in 2021. $500 million for a lending protocol seems pretty standard if it's one of the top 2 or 3 projects on Cardano for lending. So can it 100x? Theoretically, yes, I do think it can. But theory, in my opinion, is not always best. In my opinion, I would not buy BTN because there's just no product yet, and there's no moat, no significant moat around the synthetics market. I personally cannot buy the BTN token because of these two reasons. And you might be asking me why. Well, the reason is because I used to invest like that. I used to invest in projects when they were just a token, promising a product. And I used to invest really like a venture capitalist in this way. And I thought I was investing like a venture capitalist in this way, but I was wrong. Okay. So I invested in early stage tokens without a DApp last cycle. and I lost $7,000, $8,000. So I basically used to think like a venture capitalist and think, hey, I'm a venture capitalist, I'm investing in early stage products. And today I just don't want to be like that. I don't want to invest in early stage products that are not, the product is not live. So I want to be a venture capitalist that invests in things that where product has been live, development has been shown, and prices simply come down. And that in my turn makes me a better value investor than investing in something where the product just is not there yet. So do I think Butane can 100x? Yes. Do I think most of Cardano should invest into it in order to get that 100x? No. I don't think you should. I'm not investing in BTN because it needs a product. It needs that product to get out, work out the kinks, work out the bugs, let people use it, and then after that, it can get some market share, and then it could be worth, investing in later. I am willing to sit out on price appreciation and miss the first couple 20-30% gain while product is going live in order to justify the investment and make sure I'm investing in a good thing. So this is how I look at some of these projects. This is how I would break down butane. Butane is a beautiful idea. It has beautiful fundamentals and use case and product market fit and niche services that it provides. The only problem is those products are not being provided yet, and there's a token out. So the tokenomics are also good enough for retail, good enough for 100x, but the token is the only thing that's out there. So I'm not going to go out and buy a token just to buy a token while I wait for the development and wait for the product. And I think that's a safer way to go about investing in crypto. I like to be risky. I like to invest in 100x projects, but I like to do it without taking unnecessary risk. And I think right now BTN is just unnecessary risk. That's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. I think butane is a great idea, can be a great project, but I want to see the product get live. I want to see people use it. I want to see market share being eaten up. Then I would think about investing into it. But at that time, when that happens, we might need to reanalyze some things. And, this video might not be as relevant. So we need to reanalyze the project when that happens. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if you want some more insight onto how this process works or how I view or analyze projects. Let me know if you think BTN is a good investment and if you're currently invested in it. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.